unlikely to get a huge amount of action unless it's cooler central, but
good things can happen.
Oh, well, that's going to do it. Unlucky Consti.
Ouch.
That's not going to do it. Drawing dead. So, sorry to see that, Consti. Good game, sir. Contemplating whether he can jam for value, I guess, but against this size, no, the answer is no. Whoa,
No, no.
I'm going home.
No. Ring.
Oh, and it's going to be, well.
What?
Whoa!
How did he do that?
What are we, about 16 big blinds? Yeah, I think you could do anything here, really. You could go for a limp, you could go for a raise, you could go for a shove.
Ooh, and Max is going to go for the jam versus this min raise.
Yeah, 20 big blind, less than 20 big blinds effective. I think this is a very solid play with the double blocker hand. You're just going to get a hand like this potentially to fold sometimes. I mean, you can't really. It's really close. This really close, which is why open jamming is maybe slightly preferable, or limping.
Yeah.
This is a very close spot. I think we probably have to call being last
versus
in chips. Yeah, versus an aggressive player, being last in chips, no more real ICM pressure. We do dominate some stuff. We do flip with a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is probably we got to get it in there. Just about, but does elect to lay it down. I mean, you can't say it's a terrible fold.
No.
So,
but yeah, dominating the Jack 10 suited, the Queen Jacks.
Yusuf would have folded anyway. Yeah, probably, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Probably. Yeah, it's a tough one. He's definitely on the tighter side.
Yeah.
I can see him
conservative.
I can see him potentially getting away from it there. Yeah, but I think he probably gets it in.
I think players like him don't really. They're not very comfortable calling off. They want to
be in.
Yeah.
More importantly, the Formula 1 is starting.
Excellent. So
So we'll turn this off in a minute.
King 8 suited here for, 16 big blinds?
Yes, into a big stack. This is just going to be a pretty somewhat of a mix. You're happy to limp and you're happy to jam.
Yeah.
Either is going to be okay. Again, like one of the short stacks, so not a huge amount of ICM pressure on him. And a reasonable amount of ICM pressure on the guy cooling off. Although he's not at any risk of busting, it is still going to be a relatively significant portion of his stack to cool off. So he's not just going to wing it in there with ace-5 off. But he does run into jacks, and Fabian's going to see both cards and snap him off.
Yeah, and the one-chip call, and unfortunate.
Yeah, still. I mean, he's got one in free shot here. It's not. He's not drawing dead by any means. King 8 suited is still a relatively strong hand. He's going to retain a lot of equity on some flops.
Oh, and there is the King High board.
Not the worst King High board though. The King 9 of Hearts gives Alex all the back doors in the world. So.
And he's hoping for a Heart 10 Queen, some kind of.
Yes, he's not happy bunny there. That's a turn card though.
Always a sweat.
Jeez, that's a turn card. And he's going to be loving that. Look at this 30%
hands on the head.
Yeah, he's like, wow,
sweating.
It's not the deuce of clubs. So I don't really know what I want to happen here. I think for some justice, I'd like jacks to win because it just feels nice when the best hand wins in poker. But
it does a bit.
Doesn't happen. And Fabian didn't get it in with aces, but does get there when he needs to. So yeah, nice spot for him. You see Alex, obviously, yeah, understandably a bit frustrated there, but
what can you do?
You can't let these things bother you. Like it's annoying. Like, don't get me wrong, it's annoying, but
it's not like anyone wailed it off there. It's
nobody wailed it off. It's a spot that happens. You didn't do anything wrong. You got unlucky. You're still in the tournament. You weren't covered. There are a lot of things that could have been worse. You weren't covered, and you still have 35 bigs, and you're still right in there. So you just gotta put it out of your mind, refocus, play the next hand. Yeah, Alex still with 30 bigs there. Like, it's going to hurt because he came in today as a chip leader. I'm sure he had high expectations. You don't really see yourself being at risk of potentially busting sixth when you come in as the chip leader. You hope not too often anyway, but Yeah, it can happen.
Just the way that the swings of the final table works, and unavoidable situations that pop up.
Snap. Gonna be just a call on the button. Can't see him 3-betting. Same reasons as we said earlier, like this kind of stat depth. 3-bet folding your suited stuff is never going to be desirable because you just end up folding a lot of equity. And these hands just play very well in position, and they protect you a bit on the boards that favour the opener's range.
Yeah, way too many big blinds to jam as well.
Yeah, if you end up 3-betting all of this kind of stuff, then you end up very weak on ace-high boards. Great flop, absolute free roll, and Max is going to like this board. Nines and sevens do exist in these kind of ranges, but things like ace-9, ace-7, not in there so much. Ace is obviously not really in there. A lot of draws that we crush. Checks it back, which is okay. I think it's a very reasonable play.
Yeah.
We can induce some bluffs later. We just have great equity. Max can still have some ace-king, ace-queen sometimes that he decides to check. He's going to be just drawing dead a lot and want to kind of start bluffing turns versus a perceived capped range as well. Max is going to give us a lot of like pocket sixes and stuff like that now. Sixes, fives, king, queen, that he can start attacking with some of his weaker hands. So I quite like the check, but again, betting when you have tons of equity, always fine. Max goes for the pot size bet on the turn, which I like. Great sizing, just really pressuring all the flush draws. Jack 10's obviously going to be in there sometimes, but Max is blocking one of the Jack 10 suited combinations. He's probably going to assume that Jack 10 of spades would bet the flop. So really he's just down to the kind of hearts, the heart and the diamond combos. And then other than that, he's going to have a bunch of like king, jack of spades, queen, jack of diamonds, queen, jack of hearts, all that kind of stuff, and Max doesn't block any of the flush draw combos, so it's a nice
all of those are going to be relatively insensitive to the sizing as well.
Yes.
Just going to be continuing.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens on the river.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Max should understand that Fabian is going to have some flushes here. When he calls a pot size bet on the turn, his range is very weighted towards Jack 10,
yeah,
a set of eights,
10x in hearts and spades.
Hearts and spades, yeah, and some ace-x obviously.
Yeah.
But those draws are the ones that can stand up to the pot size bet on the turn, the strong flush draws. So he's going to have that kind of thing. Yeah.
What's this?
I'm not a fan of this because we just get the only hands that we were really ahead of anymore on the river is like the missed heart flush draws, and we potentially want to just induce a bluff from those sometimes because it's going to be a good river for Fabian to bluff with like those heart combos, queen jack of hearts, yeah, because he blocks some good ace-x, offsuit ace-x, and has queen high. Blocking hearts would be like not too much of a big deal. I don't know if Max is going to pop the turn with something like queen jack of hearts. It would potentially be a bit unnecessary, but Max does do some stuff, so it's hard to know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of this block on the river. I think this is just a check fold, to be honest.
What's he really targeting
call,
here?
Perhaps, but Fabian's going to be using a big size on this river, so and he's been so in line so far. Yeah, he's just targeting like
a king 9.
I mean, I don't even know. That's why I just am not a fan of this. He doesn't have any worse ace-x. He's targeting like weird pocket 10s, but we block. Like I don't know. It's a super strange bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fabian obviously just going to shove, and now he's just trying to give himself an easy bet fold, I guess. But I think people are more likely to bluff against this than they are against the check. So, I'm just happier to check fold. Just much happier to check fold than bet fold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really understand that river play, but nice hand for Fabian. Nice to get there with your free rolls.
Absolutely gets there with the free roll and chips up. Only a couple of orbits ago on 15 bigs now. I believe must be one of the chip leaders.
Not seen the cards yet.
Nope.
Hiding them from us. There we go. King 8 suited. Lovely.
Absolutely, bit of momentum Spire on the button with ace queen.
Yes, this is going to be, what, how deep are we? 35?
35, just all in?
Probably not.
No?
Likely to just be a call for similar reasons as earlier. It's not a great hand to free bet call for 35 bigs. We crush a lot of the opens that we want to. We just keep in all the queen jack off, king queen off, stuff like that. It's just a bit too many big blinds to shove. It looks like he is going for the free bet, which it will have to be a free bet fold, but I don't think it's outrageous by any means. I think I just prefer to use like ace 10 off. Yeah. Basically.
Something a little bit weaker.
Yeah.
Easier to fold to the 4-bet jam. Ooh, runs into
does allow him to get away from this situation, but I think he would get away from this situation anyway, to be honest. Like, squeeze out of the big blind. We haven't really seen any pre-flop free betting so far. So a squeeze out the big blind would be, but it would be a tricky spot. Like, button open, cut off, flat, big blind squeeze. It's supposed to be a very bluffed spot now. So it would be an interesting spot, but he's got himself out of it. And Tim's decision, I think, it's just all in.
Just all in. Yeah, there's
else.
not really anything else we can do.
Yeah, click doesn't really make any sense with queens. He just has to shove and hope for the best, really. You're not loving it, though. Like, when there's been a very passive table, passive in terms of like pre-flop free betting, we haven't really seen anything going on. There's been a few spots passed up to free bet, so you're not loving it by any means, unblocking aces and kings, but there are enough things in both ranges that queens is more than good enough. It's one of those hands. Very rarely a reason to fold pre-flop.
Yep. And just a snap fold with the ace queen.
Yeah, running into it a bit, Alex. Seems like he's pushing the right buttons. He just has run into it a couple of times, and
absolutely,
the jacks versus king 8 just unlucky, but.
Yusuf in there grinding the 8 bigs. Herman the chip leader. Bernhauser 35. And Tim with 33 big blinds. So starting to get a bit short. We had 100 big blinds was the top chip count when we're coming into the final table.
More, wasn't it? 118, I think.
Yeah,
heaps.
Absolutely heaps, and starting to catch up with us.
Natural though, that's just the way tournaments go, really. You don't really stay very deep until the end unless it's a very, very, very good structure indeed. Shorthand is rarely super deep. Yeah, easy open for Max. Queens now for Leonard. Leonard?
Yeah, yeah.
Leonard. Yeah, Leonard.
Leonard, yeah.
Leonard.
It's been plain sailing for him. Fancy aces on the big spot, queens.
So he's just going to go for a free bet here, obviously. We're up to 100k now, are we, big blind?
80, I think.
Oh, so Max with the almost 3x open?
Yeah, it said 80 on the last chip count. But could be 100. I don't see why he'd be
200 in the
going.
pot. No, it must be 80.
Yeah, it's 80.
Yeah, I don't really. Not a size. I don't really understand why we want to open a big size with a hand this week under the gun. Our range just doesn't want to really put more money in either. Like, in general, all of our hands are happy to go smaller.
Yeah.
And yeah, it'd be nice to see the effective stacks behind. What's that? 2.1 million for Tim.
He might be just because of Yusuf in the big blind. He's kind of disincentivizing the peel.
Yeah, but you don't really mind the peel.
Oh wow!
Oh,
this is
we're getting some coolers now.
Unbelievable.
Things are heating up in the deck. So now another just spot for Tim to just shove. Like, yeah, anything else is very suspect. Click is too suspect. Cold call is insanely suspect.
Yeah.
It's just an all-in, and I mean the open and the 3-bet are already strong enough that it's actually fine. Like, we're quite happy. We're going to get called it a reasonable amount. So
And regardless if we take it down, it's
Leonard's been just super in line. All the showdown they would have seen is him going to showdown with aces. So you've got to just believe that his range is insanely value heavy here. We're blocking aces as well. Sorry, we're blocking ace king heavily as well, which means he's weighted to those pocket pairs a bit more, which are the ones he's going to be calling off. So yeah, he's going to be loving this spot. And wow, Herman's in just an absolute awful spot. Yeah.
Let's see. Has he just snapped it?
I think no, he's getting the count.
Yeah.
Rightly so. This is like a very, very grim spot. If you're ever going to fold queens, this is the time.
Yeah. Second versus first, or
second versus first. A lot of big blinds. I mean, it's not that many bigs. Is it 80? It's like 30 bigs.
Yeah. The chip leader was 39 on the last graphic. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we're just not folding.
No. Does he 4-bet jam jacks here though? No.
But
just a lot of ace king.
I think maybe jacks does make it in, and I think ace king obviously definitely makes it in.
For sure.
And there's just a lot of combos of ace king because it's all the ace king offsuit. When you put in 16 combos of ace king and then 6 combos of jacks as well.
Yeah.
You just gotta flick it. Same hand occasionally. It's not impossible. It's rare, but it happens.
Getting chip counts of stacks not involved in the hand now, just sort of like, oof. If I do lose here, how much has Yusuf got? It's down to 6 bigs.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a ICM disaster, this hand, to be honest, but he's played it up. He's played it fine. He's done sick hero fold. What a legend.
Unbelievable.
That is a great fold.
Yeah. That takes some discipline to...
very disciplined, yeah. He's going to be absolutely thrilled to see that one on stream.
Absolutely. Yusuf finally finds a go and runs into it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Max just going to rejam. Nothing, no decision for him with the short stack, 15, 16 bigs. Yeah.
And bad news for Yusuf, realizing he's got 2 outs. Ooh. All the tricks in the book.
Stand up, jacket on, bag on.
Yeah, bags
ordered
out.
a cab.
Get the bolt
booked
up.
a flight home.
The old walk away.
He's not committed to walking away, so he's never getting there. I can see he's hanging around. You got to be out the door.
That's it. One eye on the ball. Oh. He's literally walked
off.
There
we go. 4 on the river then. It doesn't get there.
Unfortunately, that will be the end of Yusuf's run.
To 5. Yeah, five guys who have all played pretty solid.
Absolutely.
5 guys. Ooh.
5 guys. Ooh.
Love a burger. If I mentioned I'd like a burger. So down to the last 5. Yeah, everybody locked up around 7k, I believe. 7.2.
Yep.
We'll probably see some payouts in a minute.
Yeah, 7.2.
Yeah, not a huge array of chip stacks there. All very close. It's, again, still just down to anybody at the moment. Alex has 1 double up and he's into the chip lead, so it's all to play for.
He's king of the cut-off. Lovely find.
Yeah. Tim has had a few nice spots to open and just generally get involved.
Finds the aces there with the queen's 3-bet as well.
Yes, unlucky to not be a runaway chip leader.
Absolutely.
Against a lot of people, he's stacking chips still.
This could be getting fired in here. So it's going to be 80k big blinds. So it's what, like 25 bigs effective with the 5s versus the cutoff. Just going to shove. I think that's pretty standard.
Yeah, seems fine to me. It's definitely on the upper end of chip stacks we want to be jamming, but
yeah, up to 30, I'd imagine.
Yeah, Tim's just going to call this one off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing to be done. Unavoidable flip situation. And let's see. Ooh.
He's thinking about it, but he will end up putting it in. He can't fold this hand. He knows he can't fold.
cutoff versus button here. Just going to be calling, but as you can see, it's not really a super comfortable situation for him. He's thinking, well, but you know, your opponent's going to have ace queen, your opponent's going to have ace 10 suited, ace jack, ace, you know, just so many hands that you're dominating.
He's just going to have ace king a bunch as well.
Yeah. He's not considering folding, is he?
I mean, he must be, otherwise he would have called.
Wow.
It's a tough spot for him because he's a chip leader, and if he loses this pot, he's last in chips. But
yeah,
if he wins
crippled.
this pot, he wins the tournament a lot of the time.
Yeah. No! Wow.
Just a tiny bit too tight there, I think.
Yeah.
Ace king, I think, has to go. I mean, when you can eliminate some of the top of his range as well, because a lot of that would trap or go for a small free bet.
Yeah.
He's mostly in the we are definitely flipping or better range. So, yeah, for me, we got to just put it in there.
Wow, I did not expect to see that.
Free t-shirt.
T-shirt. Pokercode Festival, Bratislava. Lovely
got
stuff.
All sorts
That's
of
nice touch,
memorabilia from Bratislava Casino.
Yeah, you've got the hoodies, the SSOP.
Couple of watches, t-shirts, 2 hoodies.
Yeah.
Some shares in the casino.
The franchise.
Another virtual safety car.
No way.
Yeah,
Second one.
Yeah.
Mazepin.
Yeah, just dusted it completely as always. Not even anybody around or anything
No,
challenging. It's just like, oh, I'm just going to spin it here.
Mazza spin.
Maybe it's just dead car actually. Looks like he's going very slowly.
Herman opening it up and Silt's defending the 9-6 off.
Yeah.
Ooh. That is an action board if ever I've seen one.
Board. I think 9-6 off is okay.
It's too wide.
It's
again.
okay. It's like just
Yeah.
about, but again, we're not loving it. Just kind of scraping
Bottom
the barrel.
pip.
Yeah, and I think just folding when you're one of the bigger stacks is fine. Keeping the other guys at bay. Don't give them any opportunity to win chips off you. Keep things tight.
Bottom 2 on a board like this, 20 effective is just going to be a pure raise get in, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just don't really want to...
Herman will go for a very small bet here as well because he's happy to just face any action with his hand, any check raise or whatever. So it's going to be like a 150 or whatever, 175 perhaps.
Looks like he's... Yeah.
Goes 200, yeah.
200.
Like it's slightly on the bigger side, but...
So is it a jam or is it going to be something like 650?
It will be a raise,
Yeah.
I imagine, not all in. Yeah, something like 600.
Yeah.
Shove, not a bad play by any means. Unblocks all the top pair, all the draws, all the 10x, 7-8. Doesn't have any king, queen, 10, heart, and nothing. So shove wouldn't be bad at all. But I think he just wants to get extra peels from hands that are drawing quite thin, like king, queen, with like king, queen of spades, something like that. It's just in a tough spot.
Yep.
Going for about 700 by the looks of it. $675, yeah, seems like a fine sizing. Herman,
With this hand, do we just peel?
you can be left in some very tricky spots on a turn, but you can pretty much call all in on any turn.
Yeah. Is there any real incentive? Is there any reason to shove
I
here?
think it's nice to keep bluffs in, like
Yeah.
something like 10-7 of spades,
Yeah.
that Silts could be using to check raise here. So shoving is going to be fine. We're going to get it in against some like 7-8 of hearts and stuff sometimes. That's going to be a lot of the combinations that Max raises. 10-8 of hearts, although we block 10-8 of hearts, so it's mostly just the 7-8, 7-5.
Doesn't really have 10-7 off with the heart.
No, it shouldn't have the offsuit ones too often. I mean, he's got 10-9-6 off. He's going to have 10-7 off though.
Yeah, I guess so.
So yeah, I think just call makes a lot of sense. Does elect to call. So far, so good.
And going to what looks like 0.7 SPR on the turn.
Yeah,
so
it's just going to be all-in call every turn, basically. there aren't any bad. When he check raises, the king and the queen and the ace are no longer really bad cards. We're focused on kind of flopped value and flop draws, so he's unlikely to be using like king queen or queen 10. Yeah, I mean it's just a fine card for us with jack 10.
Yeah.
All in, cool. Just blocking value as well, like 9s and 6s are going to jam pre-flop. We're blocking the jack 9 2 pair and the jack 6 suited 2 pair. Oh, we're actually not blocking jack 6 suited 2 pair because the 6 of hearts is on the board, but
yeah,
we're not blocking any relevant 2 pairs.
Obviously not an ideal card for Max, but once you get to this stage, it's SPR just way too shallow.
Yeah, not too bad of a card. I don't think Herman is going to be bet calling the flop with something like king 10. I think that's going to go into a check back a decent amount of time. Yeah, calls it off. Going to see like relatively bad news, but it's not the end of the world. You kind of know that you need to get there. And yeah, just happy to see it's not a set or, you know, 10-8 or whatever that takes away a bunch of his equity or a bunch of his outs. He just is live to everything. Hit it. Hit me. King of hearts, hit me. Come on, dealer.
So many
Boom.
outs. Whoa.
Bricky brick.
Brickovic. Unlucky.
Yeah, brutal spot there.
Played well.
Nothing we can do, and well played, sir.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Got away from the queens earlier on.
7 Gs down to 4.
Made some very astute decisions, and it's not always something that gets rewarded in tournament poker, unfortunately, but he made a good account of himself and goes home in 5th for just over 7,000, was it?
7,200, I think.
7,200, yeah. And now Max will be the overwhelming chip leader, I guess.
Yes, strong, very strong advantage now. Probably double second.
Yeah, there we can see 57 playing 26, 22 and 21. That is
crushed.
Beautiful spot to be in.
Yep. And I think he'll be taking advantage of the chip lead.
Yeah.
King 10 suited, picking up a nice open. Yeah, big blind. It's going to be easy defend here with 8-9 suited. Off to a flop. Probably not going to be too many fireworks on a. This hand's not interacting so much, but you never know. Never mind. Take that back. 10 high, 2 spades. Backdoor straight draw and front door flush draw for Fabian. And a strong top pair on a very good board for top pair for Alex. So this is probably going to be another reasonable pot, and we'll probably see you at the river. Goes for the 1/3, which I think is, yeah, definitely fine. Check call. Great turn card for Fabian. Picks up a bunch more outs. Another 6 outs to add to the 9 he already had. Nothing really for Alex to worry about. Only 5-6 suited going to be defending, so 5-6 offsuit should be hitting them up. Pre-flops are not that many combos of straights. Yeah, he's just got a very nice hand to continue here. And I mean, he can definitely shove the river for value on a brick, something like a 7. Or a 3 or a 4 would be better. I mean, he can still have 6-7 here in the big blind, but yeah, certainly able to shove some bricks for value. nice sizing, really puts Fabian in a tough spot, even with his exact holding. I mean, he's going to be continuing, but is a difficult spot. Fabian could consider a jam here if he thinks Alex is going to be barreling more than he should with some hands like, you know, King, Queen, Queen, Jack, just trying to block some good top pairs and just get folds against those second pairs and some draws. Then Fabian could definitely go for a check shove here. A lot of money in the pot. Does go for the check shove. I like it. Nice equity. And yeah, just immediately put it. You can see Alex in a tough spot. Like, it's very, very difficult to call it off with one pair here. Although it seems like we had a very, very strong hand. Like, do people what do we beat? Like, when he check jams the turn, we're like, what do we beat here? He can have straights. He can have turned like 10-7. He can have those two pairs. He can have trapped a set on the flop. He can have trapped like something like 4-3 suited on the flop. But I think there's just not quite enough that we're behind to here, and some of those draws are available. And Alex probably just going to cycle it off here, but I really wouldn't be shocked to see a fold. It's a very difficult situation to be in.
It's interesting because usually when you see these turn check jams, they're extremely value heavy.
Exactly.
And it's really impressive to see someone actually...
Yeah, Endrick likes that move.
Yeah. Just seems to be two pair plus the majority of the time.
Yeah, and he gets a very, very strong hand to fold there, which is a nice play. So
yeah. King 4 off, just laying down the hammer.
Yeah, I mean, they're all quite bunched up in terms of stack sizes. Tim pulling out a little bit. He's managing to put himself into a solid second at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's effectively the cut-off as well, the King 4 off, so I don't think it's the worst. I don't... If you're just going to be opening every hand, there's no need to open to a bigger size. Generally, like, if you're going to be opening more, you use a smaller size. If you're going to be opening less, you can open to a bigger size because your range is naturally just going to be tighter. So, less raises. Bigger sizes. But yeah, opening everything for a small size, for a big size, is going to work out to be a bit of a burn in the end. Tim just going for the flat call pre-flop, which I like. Like, he's in a dicey spot, getting it in for 35 bigs with the two shorter stacks than him against the chip leader. Allows Max to just keep his nonsense range and obviously do a lot of bluff catching. So he's not going to be folding this one yet, and I don't think he'll be folding the turn either. Going to be a check call
for sure.
And now it does get a little bit tough for Max to start bluffing. He does have a big range advantage, but Tim also just going to be quite ace-x heavy here himself. Not very many draws. Not going to be peeling so many backdoors on the ace-high board because he's going to want to be peeling. When you peel backdoors, you generally want to have like overcards or some kind of backup equity. So he's not just going to peel like Jack 10 of diamonds on this board, I don't think. And yeah, 6 on the river probably is also not a good card for Max. It's a very good card for Tim, but it's just going to go check, I imagine. Tim doesn't really get value from anything worse, and
yeah.
yeah, nice, well played again.
Yep, solid stuff.
So payout's almost 10k locked up, just under. Yeah, I mean, it's literally any two. Yeah. Small blind, and we know he's going to be taking any two as well. Don't have to be worried about him giving us a walk with 7 deuce off. It's not happening.
And going to be a shove here with the queen.
Yeah, easy shove.
5 big blinds effective, or actually a little bit less now, 4.
Yeah, king high, definitely good enough.
Yeah, beautiful hand to pick up.
Yeah, less big blinds now as well. I think the queen 7 was maybe a go, but it is what it is. This is he's found himself in a nice spot though now.
Absolutely.
At least last time he didn't have the best hand. This time he does.
Yep. Just hoping to fade some hearts. Straighty cards.
Yeah, there's a few sweaty turns. Fabian's hand actually quite a lot stronger than it looks, although it looks like completely disconnected.
Ooh.
It's just like a 6, 7, 8, 3, 4, all give him some kind of equity. A heart gives him equity. 6 gives him a pair, queen gives him a pair. There's hardly anything we can hit with king 7. Need a king or a 7, please, dealer.
Does
Managed to hold on, that's nice. We're very relieved.
Yeah, that's a big sigh of relief there.
Yeah, still only 10 bigs though, so he's not like out of the woods yet, but it does mean that he is no longer last in chips. Fabian down to just 1 million, so down to around 8.5 bigs.
Yep.
So even more fun for now for Alex, because Tim basically can't do anything at the moment. He's just got to sit there and fold every single hand.
Yeah.
Because if he wanted to, Alex could literally just open jam every hand at the moment. Max, sorry, yeah. Could just open jam every hand. Just really puts Tim in the cage. He just like can't call off 30 bigs with jacks or queens.
Almost anything, yeah.
With a 9 big blind and 8 big blind stack. So yeah, allows Max to really put the hammer down.
Be interesting to see how Max does adjust to that, if he just decides to open everything, or if he's
so far he's shown pretty solid understanding, especially. Maybe not quite so much when it was like a full table, 9-handed and stuff, but when it's got to short-handed, because obviously cash games he's going to be used to playing 6-max and stuff like that. I think it's been a noticeable difference in his play.
It's been a bit of a clinic for the last hour or so. Pretty good spot.
Yep. All in.
Love to see a suited ace hit. Happy either way, I guess. Ooh, so how
9
many
bigs.
big blinds? Yeah. This is awkward, isn't it?
Still very grim. I think he may just fold.
Yeah. Rather cool, kind of like an offsuit Broadway that might dominate something.
Yeah, just a lot of very close spots for everybody, really. I think again this is like, okay, he does call. Yeah, thinks the ace is just too good, which again, like you can't really fool that. I think you can go either way, but Fabian should be shoving some king highs, queen highs,
Definitely.
you know, some pocket pairs that we flip with, and
there's the 5.
Bit of backdoors and obviously the chop available, but Fabian not going to be loving that flop.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel nice, but it did get there earlier with the king 8 versus the jacks and made a couple of payouts out of that. So
true.
Yeah, 4 would be somewhat justified. Here's a brick though, so we lose Fabian in 4th place. Well played.
GG, well played.
Yeah, good run.
Very solid. Didn't really put a foot wrong.
Yeah, not much you can do with, when you've done everything you can do and you don't win, then
yep, that's the way it goes.
That's the way it goes.
Still goes home with, was it 11-ish K?
No, 9.
No? 9.
10, basically 10.
Yeah.
And now it's like 12, 17, 25. Tidy payday though. 10 Gs.
Absolutely. And Bayer will be very happy to see that. Biding his time. In there with the 5 bigs, surrounded by 50 big blind stacks.
Yeah. Very close now for Tim after winning that one as well. Just a couple of big blinds behind the chip lead, out of position, but he is going to be in position some of the time at least. 3-handed, that's the beauty of 3-handed. Jack 9 off, yeah. I think this goes for 5, 6 bigs. 6 bigs we got, yeah.
Yeah, big blind ante.
Into the queens. Tim finding it at all the right times.
He loves it, doesn't he? Yeah. The aces earlier.
He's just going to call here, try and induce some action behind. Like if he calls and if he calls and Max shoves, it's like a super grim spot, but he's not going to be folding, and it could be tournament over right there.
Yep.
Max finds some pocket jacks or.
Don't think he's going to jam for this many big blinds. Ooh, what's that?
Just
2
a
million.
raise to 2 million.
Yeah.
Gets the fold. 2 unders, not great.
Nope.
Not loving it. So there we go. Could be down to heads up, likely.
Like
Obviously, the queen's having 2 very relevant blockers to Jack 9 making a straight. So this is not as bad as a flop it looks like when Tim's got 2 of the queens that are needed to complete the straight. The equity's not as high as it obviously would be against a hand like kings. So he's still, yeah, it's not the end of the world. So you'd rather it was a deuce, free high flop.
Oh!
Yeah, even so, like we got, give me my 25%. Let's get there. Come on. Yeah, grim, but we're still alive.
Still alive.
It's going to be a deuce on the river. It's the nice thing about him having a straight instead of some other hand. Unblock all the... Oh,
Ooh, there it is.
all but. Unlucky. Small one though, what, 6 bigs?
Yeah, pretty grim, but rather lose that one than huge all-in versus max.
Running good in the all-in, Spire.
Biding his time.
Wasn't expecting to win that one, I don't think.
I think he was halfway out the door, right?